The second is, I think, a lead up to the first one, because now we've dealt with the management and strategies of ML, AI, and IP. So now it's time to see what's the future for this and what's there for tomorrow. And we have a splendid speaker joining us today for that session. So for this session, and we're very, very happy and proud to introduce Dr. Venkat Reddy for this session. He's a designated senior advocate practicing at the High Court of Telangana and the Supreme Court of India. He has a very, very impressive profile because before entering law, he served with the Indian Air Force for 18 years, working on fighter aircrafts from 1985 to 2003. And Dr. Reddy's achievements does not end there. He goes on to hold a PhD in trademark law from Osmania University and is also the founder of RVR Associates, which is one of the leading Hyderabad-based IPR firms. And he's also a member of INTA, the International Trademark Association, in New York, and the AIPPI. And Sir also serves as the vice president of the AIPPI India Group. He is also a guest faculty at numerous institutions, including Nalsar, Osmania University, HCU, and the Telangana Police Academy. And I think his introduction will keep going on and on if I continue. So, having said that, we welcome Dr. Reddy for this conversation and technical session on ML, AI, and IP. What's there for tomorrow? Sir, the stage is yours.
One of my firm, I am not no more connected with the firm. The people are very crazed to do the internship with this firm because they are crazed of this IPR subject. The most upcoming and most lucrative, undoubtedly the subject. And with great respect, that subject has given me the senior designated gone within 18 years of my career. I take pride in that. I have not worked with any senior for a single day. The discipline taught me in Indian Air Force has driven me to this place. Today I am competent and feel privileged to sit the people like Anindya Sarkar by the side of him. We often meet in the many seminars, and I'm very thankful. I'm get connected to this institution because I've sponsored a gold medal for LLM students from this institution. I'm very thankful, sir, giving me this chance also. And before getting into this subject, because I use a lot of AI in the yesterday night to prepare for the slides today, because I am not a technical guy in this subject matter, and I was really thinking, I don't know how better I can give a lecture on this topic, but I will tell you one issue. The most of the judgments, because many of the judgments are passed by the different high courts and Supreme Court also, whatever you get the information out of AI, it is only aid. It cannot decide. In the sense, it has happened to me also. While picking up the judgments in the AI, I quoted one of the judgment in the slide, and while traveling to this institution to deliver a lecture, my colleague has gone to the judgment, sir, this judgment is something different completely. You pick it up and putting in the slides, that too before the students of Nalsa. Then immediately changed it and slide is bit changed over that. Apology for that. If anything is not matching to that, please excuse me. How many of you say, because don't think that I'm disconnecting from the subject, but I want to connect to the subject, what actually practically happens in the courts. And there is a lot of difference what you study in the college. Just we were discussing in the meeting all with the principal, vice chancellor and all the dignitaries saying that there should be a connectivity what actually happens in the court and what you study in the law. How many of you agree with me whether the trademarks Lakshman Dara and Amrut Dara, how many of you accept that both are similar? You accept both are similar. Yes, majority, almost 99% say not similar. How many accept the picnic versus picnic, PIK-NIK versus PIC-NIC? Both are similar. How many of you agree that both are similar? Raise your hands.
They are politically similar.
That's, I don't know. Phonetical similar, also similarity. Raise your hands, please. If phonetic similar. Both are not similar. Many are not agreeing. And all of you, if you say that all of you are wrong. Supreme Court said Amrut Dara, Lakshman Dara both are similar. Delhi High Court said picnic versus picnics are not similar. Then what is the why you are studying this law? No, I have the reason to connect this subject to you. If I feed this information to AI, what would happen? I'll give one another example. Maybe it is the Kolkata High Court. When husband comes to the house, ask the wife to prepare a tea for the friends. With the friends he accompany, wife misbehaves and did not prepare a tea. That amounts to mental cruelty, and it is one of the ground for divorce. If a rickshaw puller come to you to asking the divorce, sir, there is a judicial precedent on this, get me a judgment on, get me divorce. How many people will argue and get the judgment for that rickshaw puller? So if you feed this information to AI, what answer you would get it? Yes, sir. That's how rightly said my predecessor speaker, Mr. Sarkar, sir. I think in your absence, I made a case for you. If you give it to the AI information, it does not. It may go against you. How many people, recent judgment of Justice Harishankar, he said Oreo versus Fabio, both are similar. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And I even presented my case law presentation on the very case. And I even won the competition.
Wonderful. On this case?
Yes, sir. Oreo versus Fabio.
Yes. Now, if you give a feed to AI, I don't know what is this, what do you do, either chat GPT or perplexity and whatnot. Definitely it would say both are not similar. But just as Harishankar said, both are similar. The reason it is the trade dress, what I am able to understand about the ML and AI and all, what input you give, accordingly the output may come. I use the word may come. I don't know. So all the advocate, they pick up the judgment just like that overnight. Tomorrow we have to go for arguments, pick up some judgments when they present in the courts. Many of the advocates ended up in the fine. The fine is imposed because the improper judgment quoted before the court, wasting the honorable court's time. So as you people here, when you say Amrutdara, Lakshmandara are not similar, Supreme Court said both are similar, and picnic versus picnic, Delhi High Court single judge said both are not similar, but of course in the division bench it is overruled. With this background, because as I am a designated senior, I know how to argue. Today in the capacity, you give me a plaintiff case and or defendant case, I can win for both. What is that magic? That's how the advocates make money like anything, I'm telling you. Today, the richest persons in the world, especially in India, are the advocates. You will be shocked to know, I'm sure every one of you know, because all intelligent people, all are advocates. There could be the income of 1 crore rupees per day. There are no appointments. Sarkar sir knows because he is heading the legal team of the Cognizant, many big litigations. Of course, I am also not making money, not that big, but comfortably, I'm leading my life. In the sense, there is a future for the advocates. That's what you interpret. It's not that you are changing the law. All today litigations are because of improper drafting. As Sarkar sir said, you read the terms and conditions before you click it and before you sign it. It is quite impossible. As an advocate, I want the loan. If you go to the bank, they give terms and conditions. You don't read, you sign, because you are at receiving end. It never happens. So with this background, with this scenario, let us getting into the subject now. Yeah, this is a disclaimer normally I use because in one of the conference, I use my slides and one of my colleague who used it when I was present in that side of the stage, same slides were displayed on the screen. So anyhow, this is the disclaimer because I am using only for education purpose, nothing else. Now, I am not going to define this. What is this machine learning? What is artificial intelligence? What is intellectual property rights? But only thing I can say, the name itself suggests artificial intelligence. It is an intelligence which is artificial, it is not original. As good as that. When I say somebody asked me to say something and copyright, it is right to copy. Likewise, this today's subject is also, let me not waste my time on these slides and all, because I am given the one of the important topic, what is future? What will be tomorrow? The only issue in coming days will be there is a difference between the people who use AI and who do not use AI. The people who are, because I always say, hard work was the olden days saying. Now, if you are hard work along with the smart work, then you are a successful lawyer or successful in any field. That's where the intellectual property rights and all these things comes. Because I greatly say today the richest persons in the world are, as in the morning Kavikrut was saying, Flipkart was the first startup and all. Today, imagine what is the income the Flipkart owners. Imagine the idea which has come out for Amazon to selling the products in the market. Swiggy, Zomato. I read in the newspaper, in one of the newspaper, J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, her income is 2,700 crore rupees per annum. For what? She just wrote a book and left it in the market. The kind of royalty she gets. Now, with this background, we all know intellectual property rights and what is happening so far. But if you are capable of encashing the benefits of the technology that is AI, imagine your income in the future. But there are a lot of questions. There is a big vacuum on this. All through the jurisprudence in the world, so far I have given the judgments and the points, all the courts. If there is no human element, it cannot be considered as a registrable part of the intellectual property rights of the AI. Except the what I am able to read, that also I picked up from the all these chat GPT and in which I am not aware of this, but African court has given the different judgment. But as an advocate, as an again say, yes, every case depends upon the facts of each case. Every judgment do not fit into the other case. Hardly people understand, hardly judiciary in the lower court judiciary understand. How many judges will be dare enough in the subordinate courts to make a law instead of relying upon the judicial presidents if you quote from Supreme Court? The judgment may not fit into the practicality of this case, but still there are very, very few judges who can interpret and guts to say that the judgment does not fit into this. And as an advocate, as a counsel, and especially for the students, wonderful nowadays, because we are getting very, very interesting and very dynamic advocates as a juniors. And thankful to all these national law schools, Nalsar and other colleges. And students are highly educated. Unfortunately, judiciary is not able to catch up that standards. That's not our domain of subject to discuss, at least on this podium. But I'm sure things will change in the future. Because AI is coming, everything has to change now. I think very recent judgment of Supreme Justice Suryakant, Chief Justice, he has stated on the point of AI, somebody has filed a bill saying that a government to be directed to frame the rules for the AI. And of course, the court has not used the word, it's not my job, it is the policy making, they have to do that. But that bill was withdrawn. He said already everybody is using, and Supreme Court has made a guidelines. Kerala High Court has also made a guidelines how to use AI in the judiciary at least. But in judiciary, really, I am become a tech savvy nowadays. Even I have to argue the matter, I give the inputs, and I also take the inputs how to argue in the courts. That is of great use, I am telling you. But ultimately, you have to perform. Yeah, he's not going to perform. Anyhow, now getting into this is human creativity and authorship. That is what exactly the earlier speaker also pointed out on this point. And I'm so grateful because some of my topics are covered to some extent. I'm safe at least on the point of monkey taking a photograph. That I will not highlight on that point. And this computer-related investigations is one of the CRI guidelines are being framed by the... See, law is dynamic. All of you know, because many people, I quote the example because for the diverse, unfortunately, one of the only ground available is the cruelty. I had an extensive argument I did on the mental cruelty. It is very difficult to establish the mental cruelty in the court. Only the person who faces that problem will understand how cruel it is. And the role of an advocate is unless you transform or you, without dilution, you carry the problem of the client into judge's mind. then you won't get the results. Sometimes even after doing that, because I read in one of the book, how famous advocate you could be, you can do only 60 to 70%. Rest 30% depends upon several factors. I'm not getting into those facts, but especially because you should know the court craft, what is the mood of the judge, what is the level of understanding. You have to get down to that level, you get into that and get back the order. It's not so easy. All successful gold medalists are not famous advocates, especially litigation, especially. So this is how the court craft you have to do. The reason I'm saying all this is connecting to AI. If you give the judgment, I quoted some of the judgments, you give the inputs to that, but what output we get ultimately, one of the interesting point Mr. Sarkar has stated, ethics. Unless you have got ethics and morals in the today's society, we are lagging that. You bring n number of laws. Unless if you don't have ethics and morals in the society, you will not get the justice. Take it as a granted from me. Because I'll tell you one of the issue, because I argued one of the matter, a lady was struggling for 1,000 rupees pension. For some reason, political reason, she was taken out of that scheme. The only reason to state that her daughter-in-law is working as a government employee. So since she is one of the legal heirs to be considered as, so our employment, that benefit is taken out. But it doesn't need any law. Interpretation, of course, to that extent, whether daughter-in-law comes under the legal heir or not. But if judges got the ethical thinking and responsibility, social responsibility, what is this? How it can be that the lady was to suffer? Almost it took me 5 years to get that judgment. Of course, it did got it in our favor. So law is not only the frame lines and the guidelines framed in the systematic way, rules and acts, but it also something beyond that, that only judges can do by ethical thinking and social responsibility in all these issues. AI cannot decide on this point. And regarding the intellectual property rights, right, lady has asked the question. Now the personality rights is the best example. By deepfakes, modulation of voice, imitating the pictures of the famous personalities, and all this is happening, how the jurisprudence evolves in that. Now the biggest, yes madam.
Also be biased against women. Is every AI created by a man, not AI created by a woman? Biased with men, all men are biased against women. Will AI also? That's sad. It's a tragedy.
No, but all personality rights are men only there, the file, except Aishwarya Rai Bachchan to my knowledge. Amitabh Bachchan and all the whole family has filed that. Anyhow, that is a different subject matter we can discuss on this. Now, how you connect this to intellectual property rights? Because I have seen one of the recent advertisements, and you need not to pay to Kohli paying the money to advertise your product. One of the company I saw big hoardings welcoming Kohli or any other big personality after getting medal or successful sportsman or any successful this thing, and indirectly is promoting his product, writing a company name. He need not to pay anything to Kohli. But this is another sort of, these are all the evolution of whenever the technology changes, societal need changes, law has to change. There is no way. Unfortunately, AI is a very nascent subject now. All through the world now, except European Union, rest all because struggling to get the laws into that. To my extent, because one of my colleagues was suggesting me, there could be another intellectual property like trademarks, patents, copyrights and all. It could be AI generated work also could be one of the intellectual property, right? That you can put it in that category. Probably it may. I think this suggestion should go to the...
China has done one ruling. They have given the patent right to the person who generated the English using the AI.
Yeah, I've seen that, sir. Because I also yesterday got from AI and all.
There I would want because he has used his creativity to generate that image.
But the problem is, sir, my knowledge goes well because there could be the definition of who is the person, who is the natural person. Now, can the question, unless you don't do that, the whole scope, what I'm able to understand my yesterday groundwork is that the whole resolution is to be who is natural person. Now, can the monkey not be considered as a person is again a question. Whatever the monkey's photograph is not AI recognized and all. So this is the scope for these two important issues because I am without slides. I am getting into the next slides also on this point because as you raised this issue, There could be international conference or international like WIPO or United Nations. Should be a uniform guideline should come because intellectual property rights is a global subject. So there should be guidelines framed by all through the world. Then all individual countries to come out with their own acts with a little bit of variation and all. Like variation in the sense local customs and traditions. Like was one of the best example is the copyright in United States of America. It is a 50 years life period. In India, it is 60 years. For whatever the reasons it is. So that is my suggestion because what is tomorrow is my core subject today to discuss. So let us get into this because some of the slides, with great respect, because I have spent time on this. Now, yes. Now here is the question and your answer also in this. This is the prompt given. Yesterday night, I have been trying with giving the different fonts and trying all through night because I was just playing because I never had an occasion to deal with this subject because now I have to speak because I have to be perfect. When this prompt is given, a lion with advocate robes and with whatever conditions and all, I got two pictures. Same prompt given to same system or perplexity or what chats, then answer should be same. Why it is changed now? And keep on giving these forms and every time that changing, then who will be the author for this? Answer is with you all now today. Whether that font, we have created that font, that person should be respected and given awarded and he should be given a copyright over that, or the generation of that picture which has done by whatever ML and all, whatever the name you call it as, or deep learning and whatnot. Then where is answer is with you only. So it is a intelligence artificial. Simple. Answer is reverse. Artificial intelligence is intelligence artificial. What my friend suggested, because I have been saying while coming to this call, my friend suggested that there should be a separate law for this. Law in the sense, separate intellectual property domain to be given like trademarks, patents and copyrights. Now there could be a lot of litigation, I'm telling you. As an advocate, you have got a good amount of, because now fortunately many of the doctors and engineers are coming to this profession. Let them come. We all will have a challenge, and whoever is a smart worker, who is having a technology updated with the AI and all, they will make, definitely they will make good money. Levi said the name also, you will make it. So this is the beauty of this subject, because now the question is, who will be the author for this? When I say author, he should get a registration, either in a copy, it should be in the copyright only. So it is rightly said all through the world. It should be the element. There are AI generation and AI assistance. What I am able to understand, whatever AI assistance outputs are to be with the human element can be copyrighted or can be protected under intellectual property rights, not by generation itself. That's what my understanding goes well. So now, as said, law is dynamic because I love this subject because I myself treat I myself as a domain expert in this subject, intellectual property rights, not AI. And I don't think any jurisprudence, so much of evolution of jurisprudence in this subject happens. I don't know how many people heard about the John Doe order, Mareva injunction, Anton Pillar order, quiet action. Had you been practicing any of the normal subject, I don't think you might have heard of it. This is not the time to discuss all these orders and all. This only happens in this subject. The quiet action, one of the latest development, at least one of the major company, I don't name it because I got at least 25 ex parte orders on the quiet action. If you go to the court, judge will say, gentlemen, he has not started business. What is the cause of action to come to the court? It is evolution of jurisprudence all through the world. Somebody is intending to start. It's a wonderful concept. The reason, because he comes to the market, he will be spending the amount. Please stop him right now so that it will be the benefit of both the people. When I studied in the law, I did my evening LLM, LLB and all while I was in the Indian Air Force. I was not so fortunate to regularly attend the classes like you, but when somebody said about the mens rea, it never get to my brain, what is this mens rea? But now I understand, you need not to murder anyone. If you have got a thought of murdering also, you are liable. Likewise, the quiet action is the same. You are not launched it, but you are yet to launch, but there should be evidence. It is available on the website. Your company says you are going to launch this. Courts are quite conscious about that now. In the regular practice, you don't get this kind of jurisprudence and all. And law is, of course, I said, because it is dynamic, it has to catch up with the technological and societal developments and all. And there is no law governing, of course, that is known to everyone. Forget about India, all through the world, it is very nascent area. Now, as long as there is no specific law, like intellectual property rights, there is no protection for the, what do you call it as, trade secrets. As long as there is no law, you have to rely upon the existing laws. You have to interpret those laws. Like in this subject, one is IT Act 2000, Intermediary Rules, Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, and Constitutional Provision, Article 21. Everyone knows about that. But incidentally, I am dealing with some of the personality rights cases, and I don't want to put it on this thing, but this is how a evolution of jurisprudence also now. And fortunately, this all evolution of jurisprudence happens in Delhi. But my interpretation, because I did my PhD in trademark law, I must say this: the credit goes to Section 134 of Trademarks Act. All litigation to be filed in as per the CPC, Section 16 to 20, wherever the defendant resides or cause of action arises, Section 20. But 134 section given a privilege. If I am a registered owner from Kanyakumari, somebody is violating my rights in Jammu Kashmir, why should I go there? That is the beauty of Section 134. Wherever the plaintiff resides, if he is a registered owner, you can file a case where the plaintiff resides. That's the beauty of the law. That's the only unique provision of law with my experience. But fortunately or unfortunately, Delhi councils monopolize that and they get cash out of it. A branch office or something, you put up in Delhi and this fights. So we are only the other part of India get the patent laws, but the patent case have to file where the defendant resides. Anyhow, that's not the subject matter here. And this is yes. Now, few of as we are all lawyers, because all highly intellectuals, and I must discuss, let me not elaborately deal with this, especially in the Patent Act, Section 6, 7, 3K, and Section 2(1)J and 2(1)JA. These are all deals with a patent to be filed by a person. Interpretation of person goes, that is, who is a natural person. And that's how all through the jurisprudence. Now, this subject is still nascent, I said. We did not find any of the AI inventions litigation so far. So as per the Patents Act, these are the provisions, and the Copyright Act says that Section 2D, that is the person who creates the work, and Section 17 deals with the first owner of the copyright. First owner in the sense, the person who creates originally first, and subsequent users, again, the subject matter of interpretation and all. And of course, Constitution of India, Article 21, right to live with dignity and liberty, whatnot. Let us not get deeper into that. This is one of the development in India, that is computer related inventions. This is Intellectual Property Office in 2025 has come out with this guidelines. And one of the most important is AI assisted inventions can only be registerable under intellectual property rights and no other, not the AI generated invention. That is the theme of the CRI. And accordingly, Section 3K also is being discussed in this. So I'll not take much more time, so 10 more minutes, because I think whole schedule can change. Okay. Now this is the diverse line of decisions, because this is why instrumental, because most of the judgments in every country is relying upon this particular concept that Dr. Stephen Taylor, who has invented a mechanism, device for the autonomous bootstrapping of United Sentience. By this method, he has created AI system. Whatever the inventions come out of that, he kept on filing for registration of this in various countries, and almost all the countries rejected this, because these are all system generated inventions, not the human element is not involved. Whole concept is human element is not involved. Even Indian courts also, it says that inventorship must be a human director. AI itself cannot be an inventor. South Africa, that is only one exception. I think it is the slide. It is in this, but I don't know somehow. Sir? South Africa has granted. Pardon, sir? Please, sir.
South Africa allows the companies by the patenting system. So they don't do substantive examination. They
Yes.
do the formal examination. So formal examination will be the format. Based on that, it has been drafted. If it ever reaches a situation of substantive examination, most people believe that it will be rejected. So if you want to file a patent in South Africa, it will automatically get granted unless there is an opposition by South Africa. So in South Africa, it was never examined.
That's right. Thank you so much, sir. And I also read out saying that it does persuasive value. Even you quote the judgment any of the countries, I don't think you will get a benefit out of that. And where I am entering into the subject which discussed by Mr. Sarkar and then Naruto versus Slater. And likewise in US court in Taylor versus so and so, and Delhi High Court in Tech Plus India versus so and so, and another Chinese, my friend was quoting, probably I think this is the same judgment. So I am very grateful for you because I am also equally competent with you because my whole yesterday's night workout has not gone waste. No, but sir, I'm so grateful. I'm paying back to the society because I love teaching always, and especially for the last students. I want to share my practical experience. That's how I'm here, and thanks to Anindya Sarkar also. And these are the judgments. I don't want to waste my time on this. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the whole concept is human element. And some of the personality rights, because I am also one of the arguing for one of the case. And for your ready information, this all, because you might be knowing something more than me also, because you are all AI, concepted thought process. And this is a Delhi High Court, Amitabh Bachchan, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan on 3 Bachchans, and Pawan Kalyan, Jackie Shroff, and all these people have got the orders from the personality rights. And in Bombay High Court, Sunil Shetty and so and so. Chennai High Court, Kamal Hassan very recently has got it. And in Hyderabad City Civil Court, it is a Chiranjeevi has filed an application. It is the ex parte order, he got it. It is under contest now. And that will go through because this all the development of the AI. These some of the judgments because Punjab and Haryana High Court and I picked up the 3 judgments and another 2 judgments. Another one is the Supreme Court, another one is the guidelines framed by the Supreme Court in November 2025. These are all says that AI can be used to aid but not to decide. That's what is the theme and gist of all the citations I quoted on the screen. Even very recently, I think Justice Suryakant in December 2025, he has stated that we are all using and we instructed the co-judges and colleague judges how to use the AI and how to take the benefit of that, but don't quote AI as it is when you pick up something from them. Sometimes you have to recheck it. If you are a smart worker, then you have to take the benefit of AI, you apply your brain, and that will be much useful to you because at least as a senior advocate, I use AI when I go for arguments. I don't directly quote those judgments. I recheck with my colleagues and I argue in that. That's what everyone has to do. Now I am coming to the core topics, the last 3 sides, because this is very interesting. Now, what is the future for what is tomorrow? That's what I am told because there's a sport topic is given to me. One is AI can aid and it cannot decide. That is always we have been discussing. Now, there could be a very vast difference between the person who makes the money, who does not make the money, depends upon who uses AI and who, I can add the word, who intelligently uses AI and who does not use AI. How excellent, how brilliant you could be, but you want to be a successful and money-making person, then you have to please start, you have to gear up with the technology. There is no shortcut. Today, because I'm so grateful, I got almost 10,000 files in this. When I used to go to argue in the Delhi High Court, I used to carry my files. I used to pay the Indigo every time the extra luggage. Now nothing, everything is handy. I argue from this. Thanks to that software, what is that? Liquid text. And Lordship Justice Chandrachud also used to use that. And effect on human intelligence and medical challenges. Because this is the one of the thing I feel personally because the memory and critical thinking process may fade away in the future. You are not applying your brain. Everything you want, my kid knows better than me in AI. Yesterday I checked with him. I never knew that my kid was so smart, but yesterday I could check with him. And he knows better, many things better than me. So where is the critical thinking process? Where is the analysis power now? You want anything, even for the tables also, then you just type it and you will get it. And such a really, I'm telling you, but the person who can analyze and started thinking differently, and as Shivkera says, winners never do different things, they do the things in different way. That's how we have to to inculcate this habit. And nature of jobs will change and not the disappearance of the jobs. When computers came, people said, no, lot of the, you will lose, you will be unemployed. No, there will be a lot scope for the jobs, and with the using the AI technology, how better you can improve the jobs. And legal profession, of course, I'm quite benefited by the legal research. And I got a wonderful team of assisting advocates who do a lot on the AI, and sometimes even writing the articles and all, even the putting the, what is that on the LinkedIn and whatnot. They draft it perfectly, then finally we have to correct it. So that is the benefit of that. Effect on social life and culture will be the future problem. And the deepfakes, of course, the example is the personality rights. And what is the negative point for this? My analysis, I don't know, because I not this, even though I picked up from the AI, but it's my use it in my own way. Job displacement will never happen, but this could be the one of the area, if you mostly the low run sort of employment, the people may lose it, but not at higher level. And one of the most important is the cyber security threats. I've been getting the messages for last 1 week. Your vehicle is having a challenge, please pay it. This is the link. I wondered then, if my vehicle is there, vehicle number should be there. And what is the challenge amount? Nothing is there. Then I simply blocked that number. So these are the cyber threats every day you see. That is the future challenging. It is the most dramatic problem. And the legislatures and the parliamentarians should come out with a solution with this. And next is reduce the critical thinking. Already we discussed it. And lacks accountability. And who is the owner? Who is responsible? It's very difficult to catch all the people who are creating harm to you by way of AI. That is a challenging. And of course, lacks, forget about the ethics, empathy. They will not, I don't think any machine will show you empathy and sympathy. And this is the greatest challenge in the future. And next is, what are the positive things? Of course, efficiency. Second is the speed and the faster and smarter decision making, affordable, accessible and preventive healthcare, unbiased outcome. But I slightly disagree with unbiased outcome, because unless you put the human element into this. And this is my short presentation, my friends. I think it's the last slide. Oh, suggestions also I gave. Yes, the future technological development would be human-centric and constitutional supremacy. Within the framework of the constitution, the law should be, and it must not be the master, it should be the guiding tool only. Algorithms may aid decision, but of course, these are all self-explanation, what we discussed on this line. And that's it. I think I did my role within a given time. And thank you, Anand Sarkarji, for giving me this golden chance. Thank you very much for patient listening. I'm fortunate because I'm the speaker pre-lunch, and there will be challenging for the post-lunch. Sir. I don't mind, sir, but it will be, I'm on the good books now. I don't know in the continuation. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And I wish all, if the students are here, wonderful future in the, I think many of the people with great respect and interest, they have come here. And thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. If there are any questions, we can take 2 quick questions and rest questions.
Madam,
offline
ask me
because-
easy question, please. Yeah, please.
My question is online segment frauds. You use some of that amount the last 5 years. It's equivalent to any political scam. So do you think that current laws or the methods or the procedures available, are they sufficiently speed enough, or do you think
I can put the word nil, sir. Because I had a personal experience. My whole computers in my office was hacked. My whole data is gone. I gave a complaint almost 4.5 years back. Somebody said some of the private organization in Calcutta is existence. I paid him 25,000. I sent all my hard disk to them. They also could not prove it. Finally, the police have given report. This is the civil case of the nature and the, what you call it as, the case is closed. In the sense now, because we don't have a trained people for this, many of the people may not understand what is AI and all. Those people are sitting there. And it is very difficult to, because unless you have got such a system which is well trained for this, and I really, because as an, because especially institutions like Nalsar and we all people as a team, these kind of sessions will enhance the knowledge, and this should go on. This should be, must be a continuous process. Once again, I thank you for Nalsar for conducting such a sessions, which are very useful. But it should go to the police and even politicians also. They should, and judges especially. It's my suggestion, sir.
Can I answer this?
Yeah, please.
I'm kind of, retired from,
Oh, great.
actually, I'm in manager secretary.
Oh,
This question I have to answer.
forgive me, sir, if I say something wrong.
No, sir, you are right. Both were right. Very sure both were right. The first is like there was a reform which has taken place as ITI 2007. Then the 20th in ITI 2019. So if you go through the IT Act as such, there will be a formula around 67A, 67B, 128A. The amendments has taken place. And that was there because of the reform of 67. The second part which is there, the second part which answer especially related to the act which has happened. It's a basically there for that they are using it is an individual market and something has happened. Is you are to make the profit activity. If there is a complaint which can be done, but the culprit has to be found and he can be punished. This is the provision is exist. For this, to complement like there is an insurance which is coming up, like the cyber insurance is last 5 years that not come up in India as such, but the cyber insurance is coming up to protect such kind of startup or companies. So I hope it's a
But the issues are still challenging is one is the jurisdiction. Somebody hacks my computers from US. It's very difficult to catch hold of the people in India and thinking of the people somebody hacks my computers from other places. And
They're outside of the jurisdiction of India.
that's correct.
And now they don't even release this Meta or some company completely deny it cannot give evidence.
I also differ with sir, if a personal computer is hacked, it is different from the company computers are hacked. But crime is a crime, sir. If I murder 100 people or if I murder one person, the punishment should be same. Anyhow, I am done with sir.
There's a like the crime can happen like in the physical crime also. So the signal way there is a
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Reddy, for that thought-provoking session. Your unique perspective really helped us. Now, we'd like Professor Sarkar to give a small memento to Dr. Reddy.